And we're back.
I thought you said me.
I know, I got nervous. I don't know. Sorry.
Back for another episode. Just the three of us again. Sometimes when we have a guest, I always feel like, oh, we have guests now.
Yeah.
But mostly it is just us three. And I think it goes well. But
Yeah.
Randy was definitely a good guest. I
Mhm.
enjoyed talking with him. So it seems like this week we've had one of our clips that Zain produced legit go viral.
It went viral.
It went viral. It's got 3 million views, like 80,000 likes, and like 15,000 comments. And most of the comments are telling me what an idiot I am, what a clown I am, how I don't know anything. I'm a loser, so on and so forth. But the clip was the one that we talked about, what I believe to be the 4 martial arts that work. And I said Muay Thai, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and boxing. Now, I just said that because I thought it was like the most basic thing you can say. I was almost annoyed that you made a clip of it because it's so basic. I thought it was so obvious and not controversial that it wasn't even interesting for me to say. But as it turns out, there's literally hundreds of thousands of people telling me that Krav Maga was the best and all these weird karates and things that I've never heard of. And I was just so confused because like how I think of it, it wasn't like, do you believe these to be the best? I'm like, no, that's like saying, do you believe it's nighttime right now? Well, no, I don't believe it's nighttime. It's nighttime, right? I just thought it was a fact that those were the 4 that worked. And the amount of hate that we've been getting is incredible. But also, it definitely is growing our page too. But I was just so surprised by that.
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
Well, it was funny because, like you said, when, we put out clips and sometimes Zain does. And like, it's kind of cool because sometimes we're like, after we record, we say, oh, we want to post that one.
Right.
Put a clip about this, something that we like to talk about. But for the most part, Zain just puts them up by himself. So we're surprised. And when that was one of those that I was like, okay. I wasn't like, it's kind of like basic.
I thought it was so basic that I was like, ugh, man, that's like so not interesting. That's like saying the best fighters are George St. Pierre, John Jones, and Khabib.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like interesting. Like, obviously those are the best fighters.
Right.
You know?
People are going to come at you for that.
I'm clipping that.
Yeah.
but seriously, obviously those are the best fighters. It's not interesting. It's not like a unique perspective. Like, oh, well, but when Cain Velasquez had his run, he was the most dominant.
It's like Wikipedia facts.
It's Wikipedia facts. That's why those 4 martial arts that I said, I thought it was such a
obvious,
a dumbed down, obvious thing to say that I was almost annoyed we made a clip of it. But little did I know how wrong I am. And I'm stupid. And I don't know what I'm talking about.
You are.
And it's
you're
no
a clown.
wonder they've never heard of me.
You're a clown.
And I'm a clown and a loser.
Facts. It's so funny though, because like sometimes I do that. Like I used to do on my stories a lot, like the dumb, sarcastic,
That was like your shtick.
That was like my shtick for a while on Instagram stories, like when I would act dumb. And I would think it's funny, but I realized that a majority of the people didn't even know I was joking. So then they would just make fun of me because they thought I was serious. Like, You're so stupid. I can't believe you believe that. And I was like, no, it's like, I'm joking. You're dumb because you don't know I'm joking.
Right.
And you have to realize that like most of the time, like you make a sarcastic joke, and you think it's so obvious, most people don't get it. And then it just makes you look stupid, even though really they're the ones that are like behind.
I saw a funny example of that today. It was like on a meme page of some MMA meme page, but it listed like 10 degrees of separation away, but it showed like, how did it work out?
Uh-oh.
I don't remember exactly how it showed out, but it showed out that someone had a common opponent over John Jones. Or
Okay.
Like, MMA math says he's
Oh,
better.
right.
Like, because this person lost to this person. Technically, John Jones lost to Matt Hamill, and he's lost to, and so on and so forth. They're like technically, I forgot who it was, but is better than John Jones because of the,
Yeah.
the degrees of separation. And there was a bunch of comments be like, MMA math doesn't work like that. This is ridiculous. And like all these comments, like it's clearly like the most
joke.
exaggerated joke ever.
Yeah.
But there was a bunch of comments saying that MMA math doesn't work.
Yeah. It's wild. It's kind of scary when you go onto like social media and read like viral things like the comments. It's so scary to think. Now, granted, I think most like anyone that's commenting to argue on a social media there's something a little off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether their argument is right, but they might be right. Krav Maga might be better, but the fact that they're going onto a page of someone they don't know and arguing with them, like you got to be something's off.
100%. There's a big pushback I got, aside from people saying how great Krav Maga is. A lot of people said, I agree with you, except I would add in judo. When I say wrestling and jiu-jitsu, I think that like encompasses judo. Like jiu-jitsu, when trained properly, is like a more complete form of judo because it has a guard and it has,
Submissions.
more submissions. So I think the wrestling and jiu-jitsu covers. I obviously think judo is definitely a legit sport. It's an Olympic sport. It definitely works, but I'm not leaving judo off that list. And also people said sambo. Sambo is wrestling and jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it's included in
submission grappling.
Mm-hmm.
It's
like, oh, you should have said kickboxing. Well, that's in Muay Thai. You know what I mean?
That's another thing. I was like, well, what about kickboxing? Kickboxing is Muay Thai, but Muay Thai also has knees and elbows and spinning attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a more, you could say, what about Greco-Roman wrestling? What about freestyle wrestling? I kind of said
sumo
it the
wrestling.
most basic way possible.
Yeah.
But wild, how viral it went. It spread faster than COVID.
If people read the comments, they'd see that your comment on judo, how you included it in your list.
Yeah. Early in the comments, someone brought that up. I was like, yeah, no, judo's obviously legit. But it's, if you do wrestling and jiu-jitsu,
But it's just interesting how some things take off. That's why it's better that we have Zain put clips up, because obviously we wouldn't have put that up, and that's one of our best, best ones. You know what I mean? Sometimes I think for you and me, when we talk about things, or it's good to have Zain here for an extra person to either be like, hey, talk about this, or just pick out different things, fresh eyes, because sometimes
definitely
it's just what
sometimes
I'm
I don't know. I guess I am negative generally, but I think sometimes I'm always like, well, that's not interesting. Nobody cares about that. But you have to dumb it down to the lowest common denominator. That's most people. You have to dumb things down and say just basic shit.
Yeah.
And that's what's gonna go.
Yeah, I mean, I always think with stuff I post on social media, I see what other girl fighters post, and they just constantly post pictures of themselves that are kind of to me, I'm kind of lame, and then post a picture with one emoji, and then they get so many, but they're oh, I love their content. I'm they have no content. They just.
But you're thinking of a skit or something, a well thought out photograph.
Yeah, or just something cool. I'm not just gonna put a picture of me standing in my living room for no reason, but that's what people want to see, just a random picture of a girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's interesting though. It's why, like you said, it's fun, and we're so thankful that we have Zain, because building something new is kind of cool. It's hard enough to build your own following on social media, but now building a podcast following, that's it's difficult. There's so much content out there, but I feel like we're starting to get a little traction, and I'm thankful for that.
We got 1,000 followers. Does this mean we gotta do something big for 1,000 now too?
Well, 1,000 on YouTube. I said we'd do something big.
1,000 on YouTube. At least at 500 on
500.
YouTube.
500 will do something, but 1,000.
You said something big. I want to do something. We got to do something fun as a team here.
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
I just want to party.
Speaking of partying. Zain had a big night in the Big Apple last night.
First of all, I caught him having a big night out. He wasn't going to tell us, I feel like. But yesterday, I was in the liquor store near our house, and I look over, and I see Jason Rosati, one of our jiu-jitsu buddies, And it's so funny because I never see anyone I know like in public. I didn't grow up around here, and the gym's not really around here. So usually like I don't know anyone anywhere I go. So I'm waiting in line. I look over and I see him and I'm like, hey. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Because this is like 30 minutes away from the gym. So he probably isn't.
He doesn't know where you live.
Yeah, he's probably not used to seeing anyone from jiu-jitsu around there. But he was buying a bottle of vodka. He said he was going to the city with some of the guys from the gym. No, I didn't hear Zain's name. I didn't know Zain was going to the city, so I didn't even include Zain in that. And then I found out this morning at training that Zain was there.
So tell us, Zain, what happened? What'd you do? You took the train in?
Yeah. So
you drink on the train?
Yeah, we actually pre-gamed on the train.
Nice.
I don't even know if I want to talk about it because it's just such a.
Well, you have to.
I mean, I have to talk about it. Yeah. So we like go into the city. We're going out for our friend Jake Sheft's birthday.
Okay.
Jake's turning. I actually don't know how old Jake turned, but that's besides the point. So
I'm surprised that like a bunch. I was like, wait, is there a jiu-jitsu event in the city? He's like, no, we're just going for Buddy's birthday. I was like, oh my god, you guys are doing something normal.
So did you go like dinner, or you go right to the club?
So we went to dinner. I'll explain the club stuff later. I'm not a big drinker, so like Jason was sort of peer pressuring me to like drink more from the bottle. I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like,
you want a mixer?
Yeah, he like did like a kiwi mixer with like some like watermelon vodka, and I was like, whatever.
I knew it was watermelon vodka. I took a peek. I was like, what's he getting? I'm the nosiest person.
We're going to go see Jake, and he tells us like this place is right off the train station. So we get out at Penn Station, and we like put the address in for this place, and it's like a 40-minute walk.
Jesus.
Yeah, and
get your steps in.
You don't have to walk. You could take subway or Uber.
I mean, we're dumb, so we just walked.
Yeah.
And
get your steps in.
Yeah, by the time we get there, like everyone already ordered like all their courses. So they're like already on dessert by the time we get there.
That's annoying.
And you know, like when you go somewhere and the music is like so loud, you can't hear other people speak. Yeah. So then like everyone else is like, just like, what? Yeah. This rocks, dude. And I'm just like in the corner, just like, can I go home? Like,
oh, you're like, I tried.
Yeah. And like everyone starts drinking a little bit. Like I try to drink, but the one time I'm just like, oh, I'm so drunk. Meanwhile, I've had like maybe one glass of wine.
I knew it. I said today at the gym, I was like, he's like, yeah, Zain went out too. And I'm like, yeah, what did Zain pretend to drink? And I was right.
I mean, like,
but you don't have to drink.
No,
but like everyone else was, and I was
it's hard at that age. Because everyone's like, why aren't you drinking? Why aren't you drinking? You know what I mean? And you're like, I'm fine. Just ignore me.
I also just, I don't know. I didn't really like some of Jake's friends.
Yeah, it sucks if you're with a big group.
And then you went out to like a club though? Or a bar?
So we were stuck there for 2 hours.
At this dinner place?
At this dinner place.
Good food?
It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't anything crazy.
I feel like you're being kind of like bitchy. Like you're gonna be like, it was okay.
I'm such a bitch. Are you kidding me? But so like we go out after this. I tried to get a girl's number at the restaurant. It didn't really work out because my boys were like already leaving, and it's
was
like,
she just a patron or was she working?
She was a patron.
Okay.
There was one girl that was working that like they were like, yo, you gotta get her number. But I'm like, no.
Very hard to get a girl's number while she's working.
Yeah, I'm like, she's just working.
Yeah,
like, it's not like
she gets hit on
you.
all day long.
Yeah,
and it's just hard for her to stop and do that when it's
very,
busy.
very difficult. If you get a girl's number while she's working, she's definitely probably into you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we're like walking down the street to like the bars. And one of these kids, he's like, I don't know, he's a cool kid, but he's like a hooligan. He's like taking out his Sharpie. He's like writing on all like the signs we pass.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, those like little
that's what you do at that age. Though.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, all right, that's kind of trashy. Like, I don't want to be associated with that.
Or it's like one time, okay, but chill.
And so like this whole like sausage train of like 11 guys is like walking down the street.
Dude's night
and
out.
And women are like crossing the street as like we like walk down. I'm like, I don't blame you guys. Like,
I
wouldn't want
11 guys.
11 guys.
You usually can't even get into most places with 11 guys.
This is where I get to the other point in the story. Yeah. So
experienced partier over here knows this.
We hit up this bar and like they just like give us a booth, and I'm like, what's the point of us sitting here? Like, we're just gonna talk to each other all night. Like, I came out here to get bitches, bro.
I love this attitude, Zain. Yes.
Yeah, I was like, I came out here to talk to girls, and if we're just gonna sit here all night and just like
talk
jerk
to each other.
off. Yeah, like I don't want to do that.
Yeah, why did you go all the way to the city for
Yeah,
You could
and
do
so
that
like,
at home.
and so like I start leading the charge. I'm trying to get everyone hyped. I'm like, let's get the fuck out of here. Like, let's go to the club, and then let's hit another club, and after that we'll take a bus and hit another club.
Damn.
And everyone's like hyped, and I'm like leaving the bar. Like we didn't even order yet. Like I'm like everyone's following me, and I walk outside, and I turn around. It's just Rosati. And I'm like, where did everyone go?
That should have been right there. That like. If you're trying to get girls, you cannot get girls with a group of 11 guys.
It's
the
impossible.
best way to get girls is you and one other guy.
I agree.
At the absolute most, you and two. But I think 3 guys is
I think
too
if you
many
go to the
guys.
city, you could have like
Just
3
one
guys
guy.
because the girls are probably out in a group. You know what I mean?
But the 3 guys definitely will not get into most clubs.
Oh,
A
to
group
get
of
in. I
3,
thought you meant just to talk
unless
to
you know.
girls.
Yeah.
2 guys is if you want to get chicks, not 11.
Yeah. No.
11's 9 too many.
It's so crazy because it's the complete opposite when like I was younger for girls. What you worry about is like, I don't even like this girl, but the bigger group we have, the better like club we can get into because the more we have in our squad, it's
Well,
like
here's 20 girls. Come
yeah,
on
and
in.
they're like, oh, I don't want to be like, well, it's just we can't go if it's just you and me. Like we got to get more girls.
Mhm.
That's why like you just like have girls tag along, you know. So it's like the complete opposite.
It's like an opposite ratio. I've got to hit up more of my girlfriends to go out because this is like
Yeah, go out with them.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ever gonna go out with the boys again, but like I run out and it's just me and Rosati, and I'm like looking at like Rosati. I'm like, where did everyone else go? And Jake comes out. He's like, oh yeah, everyone just sat back down and like wanted to order drinks. And I'm like, all right, these soldiers are not part of our cause, obviously.
Yeah.
Like we need to cut our losses. I, like,
That's
look
good
at,
that you thought that.
yeah, because it's just like at the end of the night, it's like I don't really like most of these guys anyway.
Yeah.
Like at one point, like at the restaurant, like there's this line to go to the bathroom. And so like a bunch of people from like upstairs, it's like a 2-story place. So like there's only 2 bathrooms and they're right next to each other and they're on the top floor. And so like a bunch of like people are lining up to go to the bathroom. And we like, I don't know, like we're like a bunch of like stupid kids. We start doing like a cha-cha slide like to the bathroom, like a whole group.
Yeah.
And like people are like, you know, like coming around, they're like dancing with us. And like one of my guy friends, like I love him to death. He's awesome. But like he like tried grinding on me like like well and it's like it's one thing if I had a girlfriend and he had a girlfriend and I was like, oh yeah, we're just like loyal dudes out on a night together, but he's single and I'm single and I'm like, the last thing I want is another penis next to me.
Oh my
So maybe just back up.
Wait, is he gay?
I don't know.
Well, I feel like if you question it, there, you know.
I'm like keeping him away.
If you weren't questioning it, you probably just would be like dancing with him, like joking around, right?
You'd probably be more comfortable if you knew he flat out was gay.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, oh, he's just fucking around.
The
with me."
thing
yeah.
that bothered me is
But
he
if he
did
was
it,
like a little, you're not sure, then you're like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
the thing that bothered me is he did it way more than once. Like he did it like a couple 3 to 4
Are you
times.
okay? Did you get me too'd?
I guess like he was like grabbing me and things. I was like, I don't
That's
want
Oh
So
my god,
bizarre.
you got sexually harassed this weekend? Are you okay?
Not really.
Oh my
I'm
god.
sad. And so I like leave those guys at the bar. I'm like, whatever, like let's cut our losses. Like Rosati, me and you, we're on a mission. Like let's get out of here. And so like me and Rosati, like we're like, all right, where do we go? So we asked the bouncer. He says like there's this place called Somewhere Nowhere,
Okay.
right by Penn Station. Like you go there. He's like, I quote, that's where the bitches are. And I was like,
Really?
"That's-
Right
like,
by
let's
Penn
go."
Station? Usually
was-
that's like the fucking bottom of the barrel.
I guess
It's like zombie heroin.
Yeah, yeah.
addicts.
Well, Penn Station
By
for
Penn
sure.
Station.
yeah. I mean that's where like FIT is. That's where like all like the
Yeah.
college kids go.
So it wasn't late at night necessarily.
It was pretty late. It
Oh,
was like
was it?
11,
Okay.
11, 12.
Okay.
And so me and Rosati are like walking like through the city. We're like walking through Manhattan, and like we're just like talking to people because we're just fucking sloshed. And like there's this girl with like a French bulldog, and I like start freaking out because I'm like I babysit a French bulldog, like, and we're like I'm like exchanging photos of Pablo, and it's like a wholesome
That's
moment.
good.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, soldier, like we're probably never gonna meet again. I'm on a mission right now, like
Uh-huh.
I can't talk to you anymore. And so we cut our losses there, and then
You
I
should
mean-
ask her for a number.
she was with her boyfriend,
Oh,
and I was like, all right, fair play.
all right.
And
whatever.
this lady from London came up to us as like we're crossing like this like I think it was like Madison Square Park.
Mm.
Like this lady from London comes up to us and she's like, "Hello, which way to the subway?" And me and Rosati are like trying to figure out Like, because we don't know where the
You're
subway
like, I have
is.
no idea.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know where it is. I'm like, do you want to come with us to the club?
Did she go with
Did
you?
she go?
Oh, that would have been amazing.
No. And so we get to somewhere nowhere, and like, there's a smoke shop right next to it. So like, I'm like, whatever. Maybe they have weed, because like, I'm like having a terrible night. I was like, let me re-up. And like, they like charged me like $20 for a dime, and I'm like, that's
so annoying.
That's so annoying. But
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever. Like, we're out, and we get online for somewhere nowhere, and we start just like looking around, and like Rosati, he's a good looking dude, but I don't think he was up to dress code.
Okay.
And I'm just like, we're sitting there, we're like looking at all these people like getting in, and we're like, me and you, man, like, I don't know if we're gonna get it.
It wasn't the night.
It wasn't the night. So
Yeah.
we're like, all right, where's the next one? Like, there's gotta be another one. And so we find another club like 5 minutes away, and we're like, yo, this is the one. Like we're gonna get in. There's no way we don't. And so we start marching there, and like we start noticing more and more groups of people like come around us as we're walking. We're like, oh, this is awesome. Like, this place is gonna be packed.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so amazing. We get there, the line is around the corner. Like, it's wrapping the
like
entire
super-
block.
yeah.
Yeah. And like, we're like, there's only 2 more trains from Penn Station. I'm like, I guess this.
It sucks if you missed that last train.
Yeah. I was
You
like-
just don't know.
I guess it was like, he was like, you want to get halal? I was like, I guess so, man.
So you got halal and then went home.
How was the
Yeah.
halal?
I didn't eat it. I was like, I need to stay hydrated. Like, I got to train tomorrow. I don't want to eat something shitty and like feel like not
Yeah.
training.
Because you're already gonna feel shitty from
Yeah.
like your half a drink. And
So I guess the moral of the story is like, don't get sexually assaulted on a night out. 'Cause
yeah,
then it just-
well, that's like, don't beat yourself up for not getting any girls' numbers. You went through some shit.
yeah.
You need like a solid like wingman.
Dude, Rosati was the guy. I guess I
Yeah.
think we just like went too late into the night. I don't
You
think he
guys
was
had to just
prepared.
go out without the whole crew.
And you don't always need to go to a club. Like a regular bar sometimes is better because it's a little easier
to
like,
talk to
communicate
people.
with people.
But nobody
Like
was
a
sitting at
club's
the
kind
bar.
of just like people like just like going crazy, like just having fun.
I mean,
But
that's
a-
what I wanted
a
to do. At the end of
smaller
the night.
like bar type thing.
Mhm.
Even like if they're packed, I feel like it's a little easier to talk to people.
I agree. But no one was sitting at the bar, so I was like, yo, like, this is like trash. Like, why?
Well, there's definitely regular bars, not clubs, that are packed.
Mhm.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I
Uh,
love the effort, and I don't think you should give up.
I
feel-
just hate drinking.
Well, you don't have to drink. Just
Yeah, you don't
just smoke.
Yeah, I think I'll just do that next time.
I mean, yeah.
We went to the city the other night too, but we went to a comedy show.
Which
I
comedy
love
show?
comedy shows so much. It was at the Stand, but there was like 4 different comedians. You don't even know who's necessarily going to be there, but Giannis Pappas was
Oh,
one of
really?
them.
That's awesome.
He was amazing.
I listen to his podcast. He's so
Um,
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple others, but I love comedy shows,
And-
and we always like meet them afterwards, and they're always like really cool with us because they're like usually like fight fans or something. The one guy trained jujitsu.
Yeah,
it's
the host
fun to
came.
meet,
The
like-
host came up, and he was funny. I always think the hosts are like the best.
Yeah,
But he came up right away, and he had a Henzo Gracie sweatshirt on. So after I was like, "Oh, do you train?" He's like, "Yeah, I just started." He's like, "It's funny when I wear this shirt, like everyone comes up to me and stuff." Like he's like, "There's so many people that train jujitsu. That's insane."
yeah.
But Giannis Pappas was like he was good. I was kind of wanting to like talk to him, but he's like bigger, so I feel like he doesn't hang
He
out.
would have if we would have seen him. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Then
One time when we were there, we met. This was like a couple years ago now, but we met Shane Gillis after the show.
Yeah,
And I
this
was
is
like,
like
this dude's so fucking funny, and I knew that he was gonna blow up. And then 2 years later, now he's like, one of the biggest comedians, I would say.
yeah.
you
with-
listen to his podcast?
I
seen,
have
like,
listened
clips.
to it. I've listened to him on Rogan a bunch of times. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, we saw him there and then talked to him after, and he was like, we were like, oh, he was our favorite one of the night, and we all started following each other on social media, and then like 2 years later, I'm like, oh my god, that's Shingles, that's the guy that we met there.
He's
And
still
then,
like messages.
and now he's like, yeah, like he'll like text or DM me and like say congratulations after a fight. But it was kind of cool because I'm like, oh, that's so cool. We met him like a year before. If you go to the comedy shows, you definitely can like talk to the people
discover
after,
people.
and they're so cool.
Yeah.
But every time we've gone to, we love going to them. We have to do it more. It's the best thing ever. It's
It is the best thing ever.
It's $25 a ticket, and you're there for like
Hours.
yeah, like 2 hours. No, because some of them do like a drink minimum, but it's there's not a lot you can do.
In New York for $25 for 2 hours of amazing entertainment. There's no better value than like a comedy show night.
Yeah, we definitely have to do more. I wonder how
Have you been to any of the?
he went on
I've
his
been to a
date.
ton.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah.
We should come sometime.
Yeah, we should definitely do a Burning the Boats comedy show night.
I would love to. There's a nice like rooftop in Brooklyn where they have them.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I know nothing about Brooklyn.
Really?
It's like,
Yeah.
It's
nothing.
kind of dainty.
yeah, I just don't. We go to the city, not often, but like I
Yeah, I
know
don't know
stuff in the
Brooklyn.
city well, but I don't know Brooklyn. It's kind of hard to get in and out of.
Yeah. So there's no fights this weekend, but we watched the Cage Fury grappling. It was crazy because I don't know, maybe just because there wasn't fights, I was just happy that there was something that I enjoyed to watch on. But I really enjoyed it. There were some amazing matches. Achilles Rocha, Achilles Rocha, is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he went against Nicky Rod's brother, J-Rod. Yeah,
Yeah,
J-Rod.
J-Rod.
Yeah, and that match was incredible.
Super entertaining.
Rocha is 15 years old, and he's so athletic and slick.
This guy's like
flexible.
6'1", 185 pounds,
Yeah, he had
15. That's
a
crazy.
couple real good entries, like, almost caught a couple submissions, but he ended up losing a judge's decision. But it was a really, really good match. Super impressed with both of those guys. It was fun. Then my buddy Tim Williams, he was a UFC fighter, but now he just does grappling. But he won a good match, and he went against a really tricky guy too.
Mm-hmm.
The guy had so many slick submissions. He was going for even when he was mounted, he went for that Ezekiel choke, and it looked tight.
Yeah.
Couple
You got
leg
all
locks.
different type of crazy submissions from weird positions.
Yeah, but Tim looked like so strong. He just controlled position and beat him.
Stayed calm.
Definitely.
He definitely had experience of competition. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. You could tell that. And then Sean Brady was the main event, and he's just so fucking good.
Yeah.
He goes the half guard and he gets that chin strap, and he Zayn was like, "Oh, that guy's gonna get Kimura'd if he keeps doing that."
Mhm.
Sure enough,
Boop.
locked
Kimura.
on the Kimura, and it's just like a pressing Kimura. Looked like his arm was gonna snap off. Kimura to me is like the most painful submission to watch. Like, I'd rather see someone like get their knee ripped out in an inside heel hook
Me
than a
too.
Kimura snap. If a Kimura, like they break a Kimura, it's really fucked.
I'm like so scared of them when I was competing in jiu-jitsu back in the day, like going to tournaments. I remember this girl that trained at the gym I trained at the time was in gi. She was in someone's guard, like holding on. The girl on the bottom had a Kimura on. She's holding on to her pants. And as they like went, it was a loud gymnasium, like packed. Everyone couldn't move, like 12 mats going on at once, and it sounded like a baseball bat breaking in half, and she broke like right in the middle of her arm, between her elbow and her shoulder, broke it right in half.
And probably tore shit too.
And she was from Brazil, illegal, no papers, no insurance, just had to let it heal by itself.
Wow.
But I remember the sound of it, and thankfully she had a gi on, so it's long sleeve, so you couldn't really see it. And
Just
it sounded like a
snap.
baseball bat breaking in half. And now, since that day, if I watch any jiu-jitsu match, even training in the gym or in UFC, when someone has a Kimura on, I like close my eyes, and I like, since then, I can't
It's
watch
cringy,
it.
Yeah. You ever see? You've seen Henzo get his arm broke,
Yes,
right?
yeah, I
And that,
can't.
Who's it? Sakuraba?
Sakuraba?
Is that who snapped Henzo's arm?
Yeah.
In the Kimura, and he just was like, he just let it go.
I
He wasn't
remember
gonna tap.
one time Enzo was at Henzo's, and he'd pop in, and then he would maybe it was like a seminar or something, and he's like open up like, "Oh, does anyone have any questions?" And someone was like, "Oh, do you could go over like Kimura defenses?" And everyone's kind of like, and the guy,
Was the guy fucking with
he
him?
wasn't fucking with him. I think he just didn't even know, or he was just like dumb. But like it was one of those where everyone was like,
So what happened?
I mean, I don't totally remember what Henzo said, but Henzo, he's like
The nicest, best guy.
the
ever.
nicest guy. If anyone can handle that type of situation, it's
Oh
Henzo.
my God,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like he's like
He's like the most dynamic, positive personality of anyone I've ever met.
insane. Like
He
you
makes
can't-
you feel like you're like his best friend. I've met him like probably 5 times.
Yeah, and he
He knows everyone's name.
he makes everyone feel like he's like. If you've met him once and you see him again, like he'll make you feel like you're part of the like his family.
Yeah, it's
He's
wild.
like, I've never met anyone like that. So
No.
like charismatic and
Yeah.
just like always happy and stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny, for a while I felt like he was always like posting funny stuff on social media, like him out on the streets and like,
Oh yeah.
I felt like he was doing that for a while. Now I think maybe he's shadow banned actually, because I feel like I haven't seen him on
Yeah, he's kind of political with some things.
Oh, kind
Yeah.
of. He's
But
very,
like,
yeah.
I mean, on the right side.
But I'm just saying, I think maybe he's shadow banned, because now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I haven't seen him on social media at
It might
all.
be,
No,
yeah.
he used to comment on everything all the time. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, but Sean Brady, amazing Kimura. Hopefully he gets a fight soon. But it's kind of cool to watch him do that. But
Yeah.
you're like, all right.
Well, I think he got like no
do a
surgery
fight.
after his last fight.
Yeah, I think he's
So,
ready to go though.
Yeah.
It looks like it.
Yeah, he's kind of your man crush.
He's just fucking good. I'm so impressed with him.
Yeah.
So what else?
Oh, funny thing that happened to me. So sometimes like I go to a regular commercial gym, and like just an LA Fitness, and I go there just to lift sometimes. And now that it's like, especially between fights, I'll go there. Not like often, but I go there. So usually my routine is like, if I go there, I lift or I do like a little bit of cardio. I drive there. It's like 5 minutes from the house. I get in the car, or when I park, then I smoke and go in. So usually like the first 5 minutes when I walk in, I'm a little like, ooh, and I don't know anyone there. So like, then I like smoke a little, and just the first 5 minutes, I'm a little like,
And this is like a strip mall LA Fitness. Like
Yeah.
the most basic of basic.
yeah. And so at first I go in, and it's like a little, if I like smoke a little too much, I'm like, oh, are people staring? Am I acting weird? Are people staring? And then I'm like, then I just put my music on. I get in the zone. I just do my workout. But this time when I walked in, there's like, at the front desk, you scan your card. There's this guy standing, like a little bit chubbier guy in like khakis, tucked in polo shirt, LA Fitness. And he's standing there like leaning his elbow on top of the counter. And he's like, hey, are you on Instagram? And I was like, what? Huh? And he's like, are you on Instagram? I was like, yeah. Like, I don't talk to anyone when I'm there. So I was very uncomfortable. I was like, yeah. And he goes, well, we're trying to build up our Instagram page here at the gym. So would you mind giving us a follow? And
He didn't know you. It wasn't-
No.
Okay.
He was just like saying it to every person
Everyone,
that there was
yeah,
like a piece of paper next to him that had their Instagram. I was like, oh, okay. And I had my phone in my hand when I walked in, because that's what I used to scan. So then I was like, oh, okay. And he goes, here you go, type it in. It's and he starts spelling it. So I'm like, okay. So I start typing it, and then he's like, all right, so give us a follow. And I was like, yeah. And he's like kind of leaning over to look at my phone to me. And I was like, listen, I already like got this far, but I am not following you. Just because like I don't need to follow like LA Fitness of Lindenhurst. You know what I mean? Like, what do you?
Well, that's a big ask. I know it seems like, oh, that's nothing, but you're a paying like member. If they were like, if you follow us, we'll give you a free bottle of water, or if you follow us, we'll give you a guest pass for a friend, 1 day pass, like some incentive. But the reason people follow a page is because you want like to see content, or you want to stay informed with something. To ask someone just to follow it for them to build up their page, it's a big ask. They should make your Instagram more entertaining, so I want to follow it.
Yeah.
Or give me something and I'll follow it. You can't ask, like, beg people to follow.
But he's standing like right at the entrance at the door, and he was doing it to every person that walks in. Like,
That's weird.
hey, can you follow? And like,
They're already members.
and
Like,
not
who
just
cares?
like if they check in, like, oh, hey, by the way, we got an Instagram if you want to follow us, cool. Then if he just said it like cool like that, I probably would have been like, oh, all right. Like, I would have felt bad maybe and done it. But this guy was like harassing everyone that came in. Like, I'm going in the gym, I have headphones in, I have to take them out. I'm like, wait, what? And then the girl behind me, I heard her. Then he goes, are you on Instagram? She's like, no, and walk by. And I'm like, damn, I wish I was that cool. I get like put on the spot. When people put me on the spot like that,
panic.
I panic. And then I'm like, why am I in this? Why am I even talking to this person? Like, I just wish when people catch me off guard that I was quicker with like what I think. I'm not good at that at all.
No, you're not.
Yeah. But yeah, I go to the regular gym. It's kind of funny when I'm there.
Definitely.
And then I realize I like look around and I'm like, oh my God, this is like, people do that. Like, I'm like, I want to just tell everyone, like, you guys should train jujitsu. It's a lot more fun than this, But I mean, I guess if you want to lift, it's good. But I'm so pumped because we have our own gym at home. But I go there sometimes just to use different machines or whatever, or if I want to use cardio. We don't have any cardio machines here. But
even Airdyne, what are you talking about?
An Airdyne bike, how you want me to do like Airdyne sprints like every day?
Well,
I'm not like
we
you.
have some cardio.
I'm not like 5 a.m. doing Airdyne sprints screaming to Adele like you. But we just got a whole set of dumbbells that are coming in next week. So it's about to be lit in our gym.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
I'm so excited.
I'm
Zane's gonna start
jacked.
lifting with us.
Super.
I want to become like the second coming of Kyle.
Yeah,
Zane wants to get jacked.
he will.
When are you gonna start taking creatine? I've been telling you to take creatine for like 6 months now.
Well, cause like I have to.
I've gotten
Well, he cuts weight too.
I have
right?
to cut weight, so I don't know if it's like.
yeah, you do
smart for
compete
me.
a lot. I've been fucking taking creatine. I got to get back on it. I stopped
you
it.
Feel so strong.
I swear, I feel like I got stronger from creatine.
Yeah, I think creatine is. I think it's one of the only supplements that is proven to actually work. Like most supplements are literally just garbage, but I think creatine is scientifically proven to work.
Yeah,
improve performance.
and it also I like saw my nutritionist Tyler Minton. He posted about it a little bit, and he was saying how it helps with brain function. So it's really good for, if you're like kind of worried about CTE, which I'm not. I'm not, unless I need an excuse for my behavior, then I'm all about CTE. But I guess it's good for your brain function, and it's also good for like your memory and stuff as you get older. So I think I would like,
And it makes you jacked.
it makes you jacked. But I'm gonna like take creatine like for the rest of my life when I'm like older. Like I think our parents should take creatine.
Yeah.
I feel like they won't, but
Yeah.
your dad might.
No, probably not.
Yeah, probably
Not
not.
if he'd have to buy it. He probably wouldn't buy it.
Yeah.
Maybe if I bought it for him.
I feel like my mom will take like other supplements. Like if I tell her like she's taking collagen or protein, but I feel like creatine is hard to get like a mom to take because they might think that like, oh, I don't want to be big and jacked.
You're not going to be.
It doesn't work like that. Like I feel like I got stronger, but like you really can't tell the difference. Like it's not like girls will think, oh, I take it, I'm gonna get like look manly. It doesn't work like that. Otherwise, every guy would be taking it all the time.
Yeah, of course. It's not like test or fucking.
But I want Zayn to start taking creatine. Actually, never mind. I don't, because then I'll be like stronger, and then I like won't be able to fuck you up in training.
Are you saying I'm not strong?
No, but you are. But you would be stronger if you took it.
I feel like it would just mess with my weight cut, so I'm probably just never gonna take it.
Yeah, probably not.
Anything else? Would you get any questions for us?
Wait, first I want to talk about something.
Oh.
I am so happy. Like I'm like the luckiest girl in the world because do you know what I'm gonna say? I have my partner. First of all, side note, I don't know why it like bothers me like now that when girls have a boyfriend, they're like my partner. I'm like, wait, are you? I feel like that's only like if it's like same sex, you say my partner, but whatever. So beyond that, Kyle now is into watching the Kardashians. And it is so fun since he never really watched it before. He would see like some episodes if it was just on TV, but now he's super into the new Kardashians on Hulu. And it is so good. The new one, they produced it. It's totally different than their previous show before when it was on E. And you're into it now.
How long has it been on? Like 15 years?
Yeah, I guess.
I've never watched one episode ever until this year. And
Mhm.
now like I watch it with you on Hulu. And yeah, I'm into it. I legit like it. The only person I don't like on the show, well, actually two people, but that fucking, and I always really liked Travis Barker, but on that show, he's a little much for me.
Yeah, not your cup of tea.
Just a little too affectionate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to be affectionate.
That's kind of
but
what
he's like over the top.
That's the big criticism of them is that their PDA and their relationship on there is super cringe and
It's
inappropriate.
A bit much.
I feel like
But everyone else I really like. I love Kim. She's so classy.
she's
and smart.
the classiest woman. And I'll admit, I've been a diehard Kardashian girl, and Kim was never my favorite. It's not
Now
that.
she probably is, right?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
She's queen.
Yeah.
Like people talk about Beyonce being queen. No, Kim
Yeah,
K
for
forever. I always like, she kind of wasn't my favorite. I don't know why. I just thought she was kind of like annoying and like not that interesting, but she's amazing.
Yeah, she is.
Like,
Super
I
impressive.
love her. I think everything she does, the way she handles all the situations, like how she is as a businesswoman, like people.
Yeah, I love her.
Although I'm not into her being like sponsored by Beyond Meat.
But she's not vegan.
Exactly. So like,
Well, so I don't care. Take them for all their money. Laugh at them.
yeah, I guess so. But yeah, you love it. Like
Yeah.
even on Thursday, you're like, we gotta watch it.
It's a good show.
Who else don't you like? You don't like Travis and
And the other guy, Scott.
Oh,
how he's
yeah.
like, aren't I still in the family? Aren't I still in the family? Aren't like,
yeah.
just move on with your life.
Yeah, it is super
You know, like,
weird.
when someone breaks up, you always have to like take a side. Like if we got divorced, I don't think I'm going to Long Beach with your parents, you know, like in the summer anymore. Like,
And like getting mad at my
like,
mom for not inviting you.
when a split happens, like there's two sides.
Yeah.
You know? And like you could, if you had kids together, you would co-parent, but you don't do like social events like
Yeah.
with the other person's family.
Yeah.
I don't think.
so.
But that guy's like offended by it.
It's like a huge issue. Every time Scott comes on the TV, you're like, ugh,
I'm like,
this
this
guy.
motherfucker.
Yeah, this guy. It's so funny, but I love it that you're so into it. But you don't call it's called before it was called Keeping Up with the Kardashians. This one's called The Kardashians, but you just call it Kim K.
Yeah.
He's like, Kim K's on tonight. I'm like, it's Kardashians.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for the whole next week they're gonna be talking about Skeet.
Oh, I know.
And
Yeah,
how
breaks
Kim and Pete Davidson started their relationship, which this is like what I'm waiting. I'm waiting for two things. That and the Tristan drama when he got the girl pregnant. I feel like they're setting it up so much because obviously this is recorded before. So this is probably like in the fall. And I feel like they're setting it up because Chloe keeps talking about how Tristan's trying so hard to change. He's showing me he's changing. And you already know, like, when are you going to find out he got a girl pregnant?
That sucks. That's sad. She's so sweet too.
She is too. I know. It sucks.
Yeah.
I love them.
So, did you get any questions? Fan questions? We put it up late, so maybe not too many.
I saw one. Hold on. I had a good one here. Okay. Some of them are like insane, but positives and negatives on being in a relationship during fight camp. So why don't you give your point of view? Because they're probably different.
Like, as a fighter or as the
for you, for you.
I mean, not a whole lot changes as far as I'm concerned. Like with my life, like I guess we don't do as many like going out like social events, but we still have fun, and I think the focus is just has to be on you for those like 8 weeks. But you're still doing laundry and maintaining the house and doing all like things like that. But like a lot of our conversation is like, how's training? How are you feeling? How's your weight? Like the focus of like our conversation like stays with the fight, because like the importance of the fight is so much. Like you don't want to put too much pressure on yourself, but it's so important that it does need to be like a focus needs to be you. It's like, well, should we watch tape tonight? Should we watch matches? I'll watch my sparring, like all those little things. But whereas if you're not in camp, we just live our life. Like, oh, how was practice today? Good. And then, we talk about Kim K.
Yeah.
But during fight camp, it is just a much more focus on that. And I try to just be as supportive as I can. There's more talk like meals and nutrition and how you're feeling and physical therapy.
Yeah.
And it's just
routine.
So much routine. But aside from that, like I don't see any like disadvantages of it,
Yeah. I mean, maybe the disadvantage would be like we can't just do whatever we want, but it doesn't feel like we're like when I'm
if someone, let's say like a good friend was getting married in like your 4th week of fight camp in California, like we couldn't go to that wedding,
right? Yeah, luckily like those type of things haven't happened, so I think we've been pretty lucky with that. But I think also too, like anyone else in our lives know that it doesn't, I don't know, for me when I'm in camp, it's so laser focused that it's not hard for me to like say no or not do other things, because I'm like, well, this is it. I'm in camp. It just shuts off. And I don't feel like it's hard for you either, which is like super nice for me. I mean, I don't know, maybe it does suck for you and you are just like acting like it's okay. But I think it's a lot to ask for someone else to like be selfless in those few weeks. And I think you do like such a good job at that, or you like, it almost feels like your focus is on the fight too, which it's like,
well, it is.
Yeah. But so it's like super supportive. Like it's never like, I'm like, oh, I feel guilty. Like I feel like he wants to go out, so let me just go out and do it. You're like on board. Like if I said, hey, let's go out, you'd be like, no, you have training tomorrow. Like we got to do this, you know?
Right.
But if I really wanted to, you'd probably just, do whatever makes me feel good. But
right. But if you really think about it, like you think fight camp is generally 8 weeks.
Yeah.
That's whatever you do on Monday, you do that 8 times.
Yeah, it's not
like
that
8
long.
weeks is a blink of an eye.
Mm-hmm.
If you spar 3 days a week, that's 24 times.
Mm-hmm.
That's not that many.
Yeah.
When you start breaking it down like that, it goes so quick. Really, it's actually less than that because the last week you don't spar.
You're
It's
gone
like
for the whole
21,
week. Yep.
sparring sessions.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 21 jujitsu classes. Like that's really not many, but you just have to stay focused. But if you're having issues in your relationship because of fight camp, then that relationship isn't a good relationship.
Yeah.
Like the fight camp should bring you closer together rather because you're like there and supporting each other rather than make things difficult. If like something that's that exciting and that like important is causing problems in your relationship, then those problems are just there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, if you were doing something other than fight camp, they'd be exposed eventually.
And I think that goes for like any type of relationship, even if you're not necessarily dating a fighter. Say you're dating someone that has like, needs to pass some type of an exam to like up their job, you know what I mean? Or what, I don't know how to explain that, but like, so they need to take like a month to study and they have to grind it out for a while. And like, sometimes people get annoyed with that. Like that's the same type of concept. Like if one person in the relationship is like, has to struggle and like kind of do something for a couple weeks, and if it's causing fights, that relationship probably isn't great in my opinion.
Definitely.
Because you have to be able to be like, okay, if you have to go through something, like I have to go through it too. It's not like fighting over it.
If you're in fight camp, if you're not giving like, we're not doing enough things together, we're not spending enough time together, but you're doing something important, it needs to, it's not even a question. Like, of course you're focusing on this. But if I was just always, if you weren't in fight camp, but I was just always going out and always doing my own
always
thing,
golfing with the guys,
stuff like that, then you might be like, well, we never spend time together because you're just wasting your time.
Right.
As long as you're not wasting your time, I don't care if we ever spend time together.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, for 8 weeks.
Right.
So there's no issue with being in. I think it should only be a good thing. And
I kind of like the cycle of like in camp, out of camp for our relationship, because we are such like extremists. I think with anything we do, or either like 100% or nothing. Mm-hmm. And like when we're in camp, like you eat super healthy with me and we all do that. And then like after, it's like the 2 weeks after the fight, we're like, okay, we got to hit up our favorite restaurants. They have like a list of things we need to do. We need to do a city day. We need to eat pizza one day. We need to make sauce. And like, we have like a certain list of like restaurants we want to go to or things we want to do. And we do it together. So it like feels like, okay, we haven't done this in a while. So this is exciting.
Yeah.
Like fun. I love that cycle of it.
What else? Any other questions?
No, none that were appropriate.
What, like feet questions or?
Yeah, just they
nonsense.
They want to see my feet and they want to know how you get so jacked.
Nice. Someone asked me, I just said mindset. I don't really know what they meant by that.
Yeah.
Be more specific and we'll try to answer next time.
One thing though, I want to talk about real quick about how you and me, I know like last night we were talking about like a proposal I have for like my next fight or something, or not, maybe not my next fight, but like a fight. So they have someone, I read it, someone gave me the idea when I was reading comments on a post someone made about me, and I was reading the comments, and someone said they should have a BMFF belt. So like a bad motherfucker, female motherfucker.
Yeah.
Something like that. They should have a BMF belt for females. And I think that
BFMF, baddest female motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. A female BMF belt, whatever. But so I think that, I think people will be like, oh, you weren't champ or you didn't do this, but that's not what it is. It's something totally different. Either was Masvidal or Nate Diaz, right?
Mm-hmm.
Neither of them were. It's a different type of belt. And I think that in the UFC, I've always fought top level girls. And
never said no.
I never say no to fights. I always fight everyone, no matter what they're ranking. And a big part of it is I'm ranked number 1, and I always say I'll fight girls that are ranked below me or in different weight divisions, and where most girls or guys, just fighters in general, don't want to risk losing to someone lower than them. So I feel like I deserve that. And I think
anyone, anytime, anywhere.
Yes.
That's your mentality.
Yes. And I think I was like, okay, who would it be another opponent to go against? And I thought the best person I could think of was Jessica Andrade.
She's definitely BMF.
Yeah. So she has former champ, has fought in basically all 3. There's 4, but we're counting the 3 weight divisions.
And has won.
I think she has the most fights out of any female. We can obviously fight at the same weight. We fought before, and I really, really want to she finished me. So I really want to get, revenge for that. But, and I just think that would be something cool. I feel like they have a BMF for males, and they should have one for females. It's been a while since they did it for the guys. And I don't know. I think that me and Jessica Andrade would be the perfect fight for that.
I think that's so badass.
Yeah.
I really hope that gets some traction. But it feels like you are getting traction right now. I see a lot of things like, oh my God, she fights anyone, anywhere. You don't preserve your ranking. Like, no one does that. There's a really nice article written about you, and they're acknowledging that aspect and like looking at your body of work. Like, and it's like no one else's. There's other fighters who've had that approach, like in his prime, like Cowboy Cerrone had that approach. He was like anyone, anywhere, no short notice, whenever, any weight class. And it was really impressive. And that's kind of like how he built his legacy. But Cowboy, he had mixed results with that approach,
right.
Which understandably so. If you're putting your foot in the frying pan all the time, it's, sometimes you're going to get burned.
Exactly.
But he had mixed results. You really kind of don't have mixed results.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely have
You
losses.
have a couple losses, but, for as much often as you challenge yourself against these top up-and-comers, I'm very happy that it's finally getting some recognition.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I don't think anything of it just because I'm like, well, yeah, like, especially if you want to fight for the title, why would you say no to anyone else? If you're only saying no because you think there's a chance you're going to lose.
Right, of course.
So to me, I'm like, especially in a division with such a dominant champ, how could you say no to someone but then want to fight Valentina?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I listened to your interview today with Jim Norton on UFC Unfiltered. It was really good. But you said to them, I didn't know until maybe a couple months ago that you can say no to a fight. Right. You just thought like, here's this person you're going to fight. And
yeah.
Yes.
Unless you're injured. I thought.
Yeah. You didn't know unless you're injured. You didn't know you could say no to a fight.
Yeah. No idea.
Yeah.
I have like 15
That's
UFC
so
fights and I had no idea.
Yeah.
But why would you? I mean, like, if you're healthy, I remember like my third or fourth UFC fight was when I tore my labrum and then I got surgery. And that was like really the only time I really gotten injured and like where I had to get surgery and take time off. And that made me realize I was like, oh,
if
like,
you're healthy, you got to go.
Yeah. Cause like, you don't know, you could roll your ankle and, warming up for jiu-jitsu and then have to get surgery.
Yeah.
Like things happen all the time. And I've seen even people I know have surgeries like back or injuries back to back. Like for Ryan LaFleur, he always had injuries, and
Yes,
that
he
definitely
did.
affected the momentum of his fight career because of that. So seeing that and then it happened to me, I realized I was like, if you're healthy, you can't say no to a fight, because then if you wait 6 months and then you get hurt and then you have to get surgery, it's so easy to be out for like a year.
Well, and the other thing associated with that is everyone constantly complains about fighters' pay. You never do, because if you win and fight often, if you fight often and win, your pay's pretty good. If you win 3 fights a year, I mean, there's been some years that you've made a lot of money.
Yeah.
But like, you don't expect to get, $1 million in, one fight, or $5 million in one fight.
Yeah.
It's just not the nature of your division necessarily.
Or for me personally, like I'm realistic.
You have to fight more often. And when you do, just by the nature of contracts increasing, you make good money.
And I'm not fighting like I'm fighting a lot compared to other
Consistent.
fighters. I'm fighting consistently. I'm not fighting like any crazy. 3 times a year is not, I would love 4 times a year.
Yeah, you're just super consistent. Most people aren't consistent.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so that's my proposal. So I feel like Jessica Andrade would definitely be down to do that. That's why I think she's so good would be a
Definitely,
good,
she's badass.
yeah, she is. So, hopefully she hears this and then we can make that happen. That would be ideal.
Yeah. Anything else, Zane?
Nah, I'm just depressed.
Why are you
Oh my
depressed?
God.
We got time on the podcast. How much more time? We're about to hit an hour.
Okay.
We're so consistent.
we
We're
got-
the most consistent podcast in the history of the
we
world.
got time. We always have time for you.
It's just hard out here, man.
Well, what's funny is how I caught myself. You said you're depressed, and I said, well, why are you depressed? Real depression doesn't have a why. That's sad. If you say I'm real sad, oh, why are you sad? Oh, my dog died. There's your answer. Depression is something on a chemical level. It doesn't, everything could be going great and you feel depressed. So
Yeah.
me asking why was stupid. If you're actually depressed, if you're sad, it's different.
You're such a clown.
Are you sad or
He's not a
depressed?
clown. He's so smart.
Are you sad or depressed?
I'm probably depressed.
No, he's not. He's sad.
I thought you're sad. Is it
I said
something
I was
specific?
depressed.
Is it something specific?
I just feel like there's like this overarching feeling. You know what really got me perked up the other day when you showed me that clip of those guys talking about me?
Oh,
Got
That
you
was so
happy or sad?
Yeah, that got me happy.
yeah.
Oh,
It was
good.
so surreal.
Oh.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. Dude, you shouldn't. I really hope that you're just saying that just to be like a cute thing to say. I'm depressed. I have anxiety.
It's not fun going to a
Kids-
party.
people-
I take
his-
Zoloft.
His age group loves
Yeah,
anxiety.
like your age group loves anxiety. But are you saying that or just to be cute, or are you actually depressed?
Oh, I just wanted to add something to the podcast. I don't know.
Dude, you definitely shouldn't be. You're fucking doing awesome.
I'm hanging in there.
Oh my
No, you're doing great, man.
You're competing next week. You gotta.
Dude, we talk about you all the time. We're so happy that you're like in our life.
I'm happy that I'm in your guys' life. Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
we really are, man.
Stop.
We talk
This
about
is
you all the time.
Yeah, we really do. It's
We really
actually kind
do.
of funny. We talk about you so much.
You're like, oh, Zayn would like this.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, we were like, oh, we got to invite him, but I'm like, he doesn't want to hang out with us.
Of
old-
course, I
old
want to hang
people.
out with you guys.
Well,
Well-
we'll do something fun here. Now that the weather's nice, we'll start.
Wait,
doing
so this
some
is
stuff.
funny because we usually record like Sundays or Mondays, and then so it's Saturday, so we might not be here. So we're like, oh, maybe we could record Saturday night. And I'm like, all right, I gotta ask Zayn, but I was like, damn, I feel bad. He's 21. I feel bad asking him to do something on a Saturday night. So I was like, I like gave it one of the, hey, if not, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We can figure it out. But if you're not busy tonight, do you want to record?
Yeah, because otherwise we wouldn't have got it in this week. Really.
Really?
I mean, because I think we're gonna go away on Sunday.
Holiday? Where you guys going?
Just Long Beach Island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were gonna go Monday and Tuesday.
Burn the boats.
Burn the boats. All right. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe to our YouTube page.
And if you guys want to send in questions or topics you want us to talk about, either when we put a question box up every week, so you can do it in there, or you can just DM us or DM the Burning the Boats page, but be specific. Just one word. Sometimes it's kind of hard
Right.
to.
And we have a very exciting collab we're gonna announce next week.
Yes.
All right.
We'll tell you about it, Zain.
Bye.
Bye.